something for adults. This channel is mostly for kids. And I have a granddaughter who is, this is her first Christmas, as a matter of fact. But at any rate, I was thinking about this poem by T.S. Eliot, which I have kind of enjoyed over the years, and I thought I would share this with you. And it gives you a little bit of an introduction to kind of a modern nihilistic philosophy. And versus that, this was a very popular poem in its time. Actually, when I was going to high school and so on, and we wound up reading it in all the classes and stuff. I don't think they pay much attention to it anymore. But it's kind of interesting, and I thought I would share it with you. Now, don't worry if you don't follow the narrative immediately. Just try and get a feel for the kind of images that he's presenting to you and the kind of feeling that he's trying to create. And, it takes actually a number of readings, I think, probably until you get a good sense of what's going on here. But at any rate, this is the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one-night cheap hotels, and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells, streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent, to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask what it is. Let us go and make our visit. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, locked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains. Let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, and time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you, time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of a toast and tea. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. And indeed, there will be time to wonder, do I dare? And do I dare? Time to back and descend the stair with a bald spot in the middle of my hair. They will say, how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest, but asserted by a simple pin. And they will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute, there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. For I have known them all already, known them all. I've known the evenings and the mornings and the afternoons, and I have I know the voices dying with a dying fall. Beneath the music from a far room. So, how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all. The eyes that fix you on a formulated phrase. And when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wriggling on the wall, then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways? And how should I braceleted and white and bare in the lamplight down with light brown hair? Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Arms that lie along a table or wrap about a shawl, and should I then presume, and how should I begin? Shall I say I have gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows? I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floor of silent seas. In the afternoon, the evening sleeps so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers. Stretch on the floor, here beside you and me, one should, after tea and cakes and tea, I have the strength to force the moment to its crisis. But though I have wept and fasted and prayed, though I have seen my head grown slightly bald, brought in upon a platter, I am no prophet, and here's no great matter. I've seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I've seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. In the short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all. I shall tell you all. If one, settling a pillow by her head, should say, that is not what I meant at all. That is not it at all. And would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile? After the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that had trailed along the floor, and thus and so much more. Is it impossible to say just what I mean? But as if a magic lantern, through the nerves and patterns on the street, would it have been worthwhile if one, settling a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window, should say, that is not it at all. That is not what I meant at all. No, I'm not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. I'm an attendant lord One that will do to swell progress, to start a scene or two, advise Prince, no doubt. An easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use. Politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse. At times, indeed, almost ridiculous. Almost at times, the fool. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind and do and dare to eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I have heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I have seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea, my seagulls, wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown. Well, as you know, that is the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and it is very difficult to understand at first. One has to go over it and over and over, and one wants a bother, of course. But I mean, it is easy at least to get a sense the kind of meaninglessness, I suppose, of modern life that T.S. Eliot was talking about. As we come to reflect, particularly those of us of my age, what all of it that you went through, what it all meant, what it leads to, it can be a bit discouraging, I suppose. Well, there you go, my friends. Till next time, may you be well.